The starship Discovery moved slowly through the black emptiness of space. Its white hull shone against the darkness as it approached the Oraxian home planet. Captain June Park stood on the bridge, his hands behind his back. He looked at the blue-green world growing larger on the main screen. "We are being hailed, Captain," said Lieutenant Han, the young communications officer. June nodded. "Open the channel." The screen changed to show a tall being with skin that looked like crystal. Light moved across its body in beautiful patterns of color. "Earth Vessel Discovery, this is Oraxian Control. You are cleared to enter orbit. Welcome to Araxis Prime." "Thank you, Oraxian Control. We come in peace and friendship," June replied with a smile. This was a big day for Earth. After years of searching the stars, humans had finally found another intelligent species willing to talk. The Araxians had answered Earth's radio messages 6 months ago. Now June and his crew of 20 were the first humans to visit their world. Dr. Sun, the ship's science officer, stood beside June. Her eyes were wide with excitement. "Can you believe it, Captain? First contact, real aliens." June smiled at her enthusiasm. "It's a historic day, Doctor. Let's make sure we represent Earth well." As the Discovery moved into orbit, June went to his private quarters. He touched a small screen on his desk and an image appeared, his wife Minji and their 5-year-old daughter Sue. They were smiling in front of their home in New Seoul. June touched the screen gently. "I'll make you proud," he whispered. The landing shuttle was small but comfortable. June sat with Dr. Sun, Security Chief Kim, and 3 other crew members as they descended to the planet's surface. Through the windows they could see tall, shining towers that looked like they were made of glass and crystal. "It's beautiful," Dr. Sun said quietly. The shuttle landed softly on a large platform. When the door opened, bright light flooded in. June led his team outside. 5 Araxians waited for them. Araxians waited. The aliens were about 3 meters tall, with slim bodies that caught the light and broke it into countless colors. "Captain Park," said the tallest Oraxian. "I am First Minister Zix. Welcome to our world." June bowed slightly. "Thank you for your welcome, First Minister. Earth is honored by this meeting." The aliens led the humans into a grand building with high ceilings and walls that seemed to sing softly. The First Minister spoke as they walked. "We have prepared rooms for you and your crew. Tomorrow we will begin formal talks. Tonight, there will be a welcome feast." June nodded. "We look forward to learning about your people and sharing knowledge of our own." The First Minister's body flashed blue. "Yes, there is much to learn about humans." The feast was amazing. Foods of many colors filled long tables. Strange but pleasant music played. June and his crew tried to follow the Araxian eating customs, sometimes making mistakes that made the aliens' bodies flash with colors that might have been laughter. "First Minister," June said during a quiet moment, "we brought gifts from Earth, art, music, and scientific knowledge. We hope these will begin a lasting friendship between our worlds." The First Minister's body darkened slightly. "Yes, friendship. Tell me, Captain, how many ships does Earth have?" "We have 12 exploratory vessels like the Discovery," June answered honestly. "And weapons?" June hesitated. "We maintain defensive capabilities, but our mission is peaceful." "Of course," the First Minister said. Its body flashed in a pattern June hadn't seen before. Later that night, in his room, June recorded a message in his personal log. "Something feels wrong. The Araxians are polite, but their questions seem focused on Earth's defenses and technology. I've instructed the crew to be careful what they share." 3 days later, everything changed. June and his team were in a meeting with Araxian scientists when armed guards entered the room. "Captain Park, you and your crew must come with us," one guard said, its body flashing red. "Why, what's happening?" June asked, standing up. "By order of the Galactic Council, you are under arrest for violating quarantine directives." Security Chief Kim moved to protect June, but there were too many guards. The humans were surrounded. "Galactic Council? What quarantine?" June demanded. "We were invited here." The guards didn't answer. They separated June from his crew and took him to a different building, a place with dark walls and little light. The room was large and cold. June stood alone before 7 tall Araxians on a raised platform. Their crystal bodies cast rainbow patterns on the black floor. "Captain June Park of Earth," said the middle figure. "You stand accused of violating the containment directive placed on your species." June looked up at them, confused and angry. "What directive? Earth was never told about any containment." "The Galactic Council, which governs all spacefaring species, determined centuries ago that humans are too dangerous to join the galactic community," the judge explained. "Your emotions are unstable. Your technology advances too quickly. You were to remain isolated in your solar system until you matured." "That's not fair," June protested. "You can't judge an entire species and lock them away without even talking." "To them, we have observed your history. Wars, destruction, chaos," another judge said. The directive was clear. June stood tall. "We have grown beyond our violent past. We came here in peace." "And yet, when we examined your ship, we found weapons," the chief judge said. "Basic defenses only. For protection against natural hazards," June argued. The chief judge's body turned deep red. "The council has made its decision. As punishment for violating the containment directive, you, the mission commander, will be executed as a warning to humanity." The words hit June like a physical blow. "Executed? This is madness. Your crew will be returned to Earth with our message: stay within your solar system, or face consequences for all of humanity." Guards moved toward June. As they grabbed his arms, he pressed a hidden button under the skin of his wrist. The small device would record everything and transmit it to the Discovery. "Earth won't accept this," June said, his voice steady despite his fear. "Humans won't be caged." As the guards led him away, June thought of Minji and little Sue. He wouldn't see them again, but he would make sure they knew the truth of what happened here. In his final moments standing before the execution chamber, June Park felt no fear, only determination that his death would not be meaningless. The last thing he saw was a bright, purple light from the alien weapon, then darkness. But his final message was already racing toward Earth, and when it arrived, humanity would respond. The small black box arrived at Earth Space Command headquarters in Geneva on a Tuesday morning. It contained the last transmission from Captain June Park. 19 crew members of the Discovery had returned home in their ship, but their captain would never come back. General Tae Kim sat in the dark conference room. The faces of 20 high-ranking officials from around the world looked at him. Some were in the room. Others appeared on screens. All were silent. "Play it again," General Kim said, his voice tight with anger. The recording started. They watched. Captain Park stand before alien judges. They heard the unfair trial. They saw the purple flash that ended his life. When it finished, the room stayed quiet for several long seconds. President Cho of the United Earth Government finally spoke. "The Araxians gave our crew a message. They say we must stay in our solar system. They say any ship that leaves will be destroyed." "And we're supposed to just accept this?" Admiral Jin asked. She was an older woman with short gray hair and hard eyes. "Except that some council we've never even met has the right to cage us." "They killed Captain Park to scare us," General Kim said. "They think we will be too afraid to leave our system now." Dr. Hyun Lee raised her hand. She was the head of Advanced Technology Research, a thin woman with round glasses and tired eyes. "We've studied the data Captain Park sent. The Araxians have technology far ahead of ours. Their weapons, their ships, they're maybe 100 years more advanced than anything we have." "So we surrender?" asked Defense Minister Wu. "We stay home like good little children?" "No," said General Kim. He stood up and walked to the center of the room. "We show them that humans don't respond well to threats." President Cho looked concerned. "What are you suggesting, General? We can't start a war with a galactic civilization we know nothing about." "Not a war," General Kim said. "A message." He pressed a button, and a new image appeared on the main screen. It showed a small device that looked like a satellite. Project Sunfire, he said. Dr. Lee's eyes widened. General Sunfire is still theoretical. We haven't even built a prototype. What is Sunfire? President Cho asked. Dr. Lee pushed her glasses up her nose. It's different from traditional weapons. It doesn't destroy things. It affects technology in a very specific way. Could it work? Admiral Jin asked. Dr. Lee hesitated. Maybe. The math checks out, but we've never tested it. Can it be done without revealing Earth's location? General Kim asked. Yes, Dr. Lee nodded. That's actually part of its design. President Cho looked at each person in the room. Explain what this would do exactly. Dr. Lee stood up. The Sunfire device creates a controlled quantum field. This field can temporarily change how certain technologies work. We could, for a short time, affect every piece of advanced technology in Araxian space. Would it hurt people? A minister asked. No, Dr. Lee said. It only affects machines and systems, and only temporarily, but it would send a very clear message. What message? President Cho asked. General Kim's face was serious. That we could have done much worse. That killing one human was a mistake they should never repeat. The room fell silent again as everyone considered this. How long would it take to build? President Cho finally asked. With every resource available? 3 weeks, Dr. Lee answered. President Cho nodded slowly. Do it. But in the meantime, we need to buy time. Ambassador Song, a tall man with a calm voice, spoke up. I can deliver a message to the Araxian representatives. I'll tell them we are considering their request, that we need time to adjust our policies. Will they believe that? Admiral Jin asked. They think we're scared, Ambassador Song said. They'll believe we're being cautious while we figure out what to do. Then it's decided, President Cho said. We move forward with Sunfire while appearing to consider their demands. The next day, Dr. Minji Park received a visit at her home in New Seoul. 2 officers in formal uniforms stood at her door. Behind them was General Kim himself. Mrs. Park, he said gently. May we come in? Minji's face was pale. She had already been told about her husband's death. Her 5-year-old daughter, Sue, played in the next room, not yet understanding that her father would never come home. What do you want? Minji asked, her voice empty. We need your help, General Kim said. You're one of Earth's leading quantum physicists. We need you for a special project. A project? Minji asked, anger rising in her voice. My husband is dead, and you want me to work on a project? General Kim looked her in the eyes. A project to make sure his death wasn't for nothing. A project to show the aliens who killed him that humans aren't easy to push around. Minji was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, What kind of project? It's called Sunfire. It will let Earth speak to these aliens in a language they'll understand, General Kim explained. Your husband died trying to make peaceful contact. But these aliens don't want peace, they want control. We need to show them that's not an option. Minji looked toward the room where her daughter played. Will it hurt people? No. It only affects technology. No one dies, General Kim promised. Minji thought for a long moment. Then she nodded. I'll help. For June. For what they took from Sue. 1 week later, a hidden facility in Antarctica buzzed with activity. The large room was filled with the best scientists Earth had to offer. In the center was a round table where Dr. Minji Park worked alongside Dr. Lee. The quantum entanglement. Matrix is stabilizing, Minji said, looking at complex numbers on a screen. But we need more power for the range we want. Dr. Lee nodded. We can pull energy from the fusion reactors. It will be enough for one big pulse. In another part of the facility, engineers built a small satellite. It looked simple from the outside, but inside was the most advanced technology humans had ever created. While the scientists worked, Ambassador Song met with the Araxian representatives in a grand building in Geneva. The crystalline aliens towered over the human diplomat. Your leaders are wise to consider our warning, the lead Araxian said, its body flashing with blue light. The Council's patience has limits. Ambassador Song bowed his head slightly. We understand the seriousness of the situation. Earth needs time to adjust its policies. We have recalled all other exploratory ships. Good, the Araxian said. The Council will be pleased by your cooperation. As the alien turned to leave, Ambassador Song added, We were surprised by the Council's reaction. Captain Park came in peace. The Araxian turned back. Peace? Humans do not understand peace. Your history is full of violence. The Council has watched your development for centuries. You are dangerous. Be grateful we allow you to keep your planet. After the aliens left, Ambassador Song made a secure call to President Cho. They are completely confident, he reported. They believe we have no choice but to obey. President Cho's face was grim on the screen. How is Sunfire progressing? Ahead of schedule, Ambassador Song replied. Dr. Park has made breakthroughs we didn't expect. It will be ready in 10 days. Good, said the president. These aliens need to learn that humans don't respond well to bullies, no matter how advanced they think they are. 3 weeks passed. In the Antarctic research base, a device that could change everything sat on a testing table. It was small, about the size of a backpack, with a smooth silver-gray surface. Only a faint golden glow from tiny holes in its shell showed it was not ordinary. Dr. Minji Park looked at the small device. Her eyes were red from too little sleep and too many tears. Next to her, Dr. Lee checked numbers on a tablet. Is it ready? General Kim asked. He had come to Antarctica to see the final tests. Minji nodded slowly. The quantum matrix is stable. The entanglement generators are working at full power. And you're sure it will only affect their technology? Not hurt people? General Kim asked again. Yes, Dr. Lee answered. It creates a quantum field that changes how electronic systems work. For exactly 1 hour, we can control every advanced system in their space. After that, everything goes back to normal. No permanent damage, no injuries. But they'll know we could have done worse, Minji added, her voice hard. Much worse. General Kim looked at the two scientists. You've both done amazing work. Your country is proud. The whole world is proud. Minji shook her head. I didn't do it for pride. I did it for June, and for Sue. The general nodded with understanding. What happens next? We load it on the delivery ship, Dr. Lee explained. The ship takes it to the target location and releases it, then gets away fast before the device activates. The ship we've chosen is the Vengeance, said Admiral Jin, who had just entered the room. It's our newest stealth vessel. Best chance of getting in and out without being spotted. Who's the captain? Asked General Kim. Captain Dae Ho, Admiral Jin replied. He's our best. He was also a close friend of Captain Park. They trained together. General Kim nodded with approval. When can they leave? Tomorrow, Admiral Jin said. Everything is ready. Captain Dae Ho walked through the corridors of the Vengeance. The ship was small compared to other space vessels, designed for speed and stealth rather than comfort. Its black hull could absorb radar and other detection methods. Its engines were quiet and left almost no energy trail. The captain entered the bridge where 10 crew members worked at their stations. All had been chosen for their skills and their discretion. None had families who would ask questions. Status report, Captain Ho ordered. All systems green, Captain, reported the first officer, Lieutenant G. The package has been loaded in the launch bay. Course plotted to the Cygnus 419 system, said the navigator. Estimated travel time, 17 days. Captain Ho nodded. That's where we'll deliver our message. Cygnus 419 wasn't the Araxian home system. It was better, a major communications hub for the Galactic Council. From there, the Sunfire device would affect not just Araxian systems, but Council technology across thousands of worlds. Are the stealth systems ready? Captain Ho asked. Yes, sir, replied the technology officer. We should be invisible to their sensors. Good. The captain took his seat in the command chair. Let's show these aliens what happens when they kill a human officer. In orbit around Earth, behind the moon where the Araxian observers couldn't see, the Vengeance powered up its engines. The black ship looked like a shadow against the stars as it accelerated away from Earth. On the bridge, Captain Ho sent one final message to Earth Command. Package in transit. Will deliver as planned. Then the ship disappeared into the darkness of space, heading toward stars no human had ever visited before. The journey was tense. The crew knew that discovery by alien ships would mean their deaths. They traveled along unused routes far from the paths that alien ships might monitor. In his private quarters, Captain Ho looked at an old photo of himself and Captain Park at the Space Academy. They were young and smiling, arms around each other's, shoulders full of dreams about exploring the stars. "I'll make this right, June," he whispered to the picture. 17 days later, the Vengeance entered the Cygnus 419 system. The crew moved with quiet efficiency as they approached their target. "Sensors show high communications traffic," reported the technology officer. "This is definitely a major hub." "Any sign they've detected us?" Captain Ho asked. "None, sir. Stealth. Systems are working perfectly." The captain nodded. "Take us to the deployment coordinates." The Vengeance moved slowly through the system, avoiding the busier areas where ships came and went. They approached a point between two small moons orbiting a gas giant. "Perfect spot," said Lieutenant G. "The interference from the moons will help hide the initial activation." Captain Ho rose from his chair. "I'll go down to the launch bay. Prepare for package deployment." In the launch bay, Captain Ho stood before the small Sunfire device. It sat in a special container designed to protect it until activation. The golden glow from its core seemed stronger now, as if the device knew it was about to fulfill its purpose. Captain Ho placed his hand on the container. "This is for Earth," he said quietly, "and for Captain Park." He pressed his command code into the panel. The container opened, revealing the Sunfire device. It hummed softly. Back on the bridge, Captain Ho took his seat again. "Status?" "We're at the deployment coordinates, sir," the navigator said. "No enemy ships in detection range," added the sensor officer. Captain Ho took a deep breath. "Deploy the package." The bottom of the ship opened. The small Sunfire device drifted out into space. Its golden glow was barely visible against the darkness. "Package deployed," Lieutenant G confirmed. "Activation countdown has started. We have 30 minutes to clear the area." "Maximum speed," ordered Captain Ho. "Get us out of this system." "Sir." Vengeance turned and accelerated away from the device. The black ship moved faster and faster, putting distance between itself and what was about to happen. 20 minutes to activation, Lieutenant G announced. "Will we be clear?" Captain Ho asked. "Yes, sir. We'll be well outside the initial pulse radius." The bridge was quiet as the minutes passed. Every crew member knew they were part of something historic, Earth's first real response to the Galactic Council. 5 minutes to activation, Lieutenant G said. The ship continued to speed away from the device. 2 minutes. Captain Ho thought of his friend June, executed simply for leaving Earth's solar system. He thought of Minji and little Sue, who would grow up without her father. 1 minute. "Stop engines," Captain Ho ordered. "Let's watch." The Vengeance came to a stop. On the main screen they could see nothing but distant stars. The Sunfire device was too far away to be visible. 30 seconds. Captain Ho stood up. The entire crew did the same. 10 seconds. 5. Activation. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, far in the distance, a pulse of golden light appeared. It wasn't bright or violent. It simply expanded outward, faster and faster, like a ripple in a pond. The pulse moved through the Cygnus 419 system. It passed through planets, moons, and ships without stopping, and it kept going, racing outward toward other star systems. "It worked," Lieutenant G said, checking her instruments. "The quantum field is expanding at faster than light speed, just as designed." "How long until it reaches the Araxian homeworld?" Captain Ho asked. "About 3 minutes," the officer replied. "And it will keep going from there. Within 1 hour, it will have reached every major system in Council space." Captain Ho nodded with satisfaction. Then our job is done. Set course for Earth. As the Vengeance turned toward home, none of the crew could see what was happening in the worlds behind them. But they knew. For the next hour, humans would control every piece of advanced technology in Galactic Council space, and the Council would never forget it. Across thousands of worlds, the effect was immediate and unprecedented. On Araxis Prime, the crystalline spires that housed the governmental complex suddenly displayed a single human face, Captain June Park, on every communication surface simultaneously. The image was accompanied by a message in perfect Araxian script: "You have taken one of ours. We could have taken all of yours." Throughout the Council's sprawling territories, the same phenomenon occurred. Every advanced communication system, from personal devices to planetary networks, displayed the face of the executed captain and the same message, adapted to each species' language and writing system. But that wasn't all. For precisely 1 hour, across the entire Galactic Council's domain, all weapon systems went completely offline. Military vessels drifted powerless in space. Planetary defense shields flickered and failed. Security systems protecting the most sensitive government facilities stood disabled. And then, just as suddenly, everything returned to normal. A demonstration of power so profound and terrifying that it sent shockwaves through the Council leadership. On Galactus, the ancient homeworld of the Council's founding species, an emergency session was convened. "How is this possible?" demanded High Counselor Zix, their bioluminescent appendages flashing with agitation. "They're a quarantined species barely a century into their space age," the Council's chief technology overseer, a being of pure energy contained within an advanced mechanical shell, responded with reluctance. "The humans have developed quantum manipulation capabilities far beyond our projections. They didn't just bypass our security systems. They temporarily rewrote the fundamental operating principles of our technology across thousands of light years simultaneously." "Could they have destroyed us?" asked a Viridian representative, their normally green scales pale with fear. "If destruction had been their intent," the technology overseer confirmed, "we would not be having this conversation." The implications were clear and terrifying. The supposedly primitive humans possessed technological capabilities that could, in theory, disable or destroy the entire Council's infrastructure at will, and they had chosen not to. The message was unmistakable, a demonstration of both overwhelming power and remarkable restraint. 1 month after the Sunfire Protocol's activation, a delegation of the highest-ranking Council representatives arrived at Earth's lunar colony. They came not with threats or demands, but with a formal invitation for Earth to join the Galactic Council, and profound apologies for the death of Captain Park. In the lunar colony's grand conference chamber, Ambassador Song received them with diplomatic courtesy that belied the tension in the room. "We have come to acknowledge a grave injustice," began the Araxian Supreme Judge, the same entity who had condemned Captain Park to death, "and to recognize that our assessment of humanity was profoundly mistaken." General Kim, standing at Ambassador Song's side, remained stone-faced. "You murdered a man of peace to enforce your quarantine. Why should we now accept your hand in friendship?" The Viridian counselor stepped forward. "Because you have shown us something no species has demonstrated in 10,000 years of Council history. The power to bring our civilization to its knees, and the wisdom not to use it." Dr. Minji Park, now appointed as Earth's science envoy, spoke up. "The Sunfire Protocol was never intended as a weapon. It was a demonstration that humanity cannot be caged or controlled. We seek cooperation, not domination, but we will never accept subjugation." "Then we are aligned in purpose," the Council leader responded. "The quarantine directive has been permanently rescinded. We offer not just membership in the Council, but a seat on the High Committee, a position of leadership commensurate with the unique perspective humanity brings to our galactic community." The formal ceremony that followed was broadcast across Earth and throughout Council space. The signing of the Galactic Cooperation Treaty marked humanity's official entrance onto the galactic stage, not as a junior species to be managed, but as a respected equal with unique insights and capabilities. In a private moment after the ceremony, Dr. Minji Park stood alone on the lunar observation deck, looking out at the Earth glowing blue and green against the blackness of space. She held a small holographic projector displaying an image of her late husband. "We did it, June," she whispered. "They thought killing you would keep us in our place. Instead, it revealed who we truly are, not just to them, but to ourselves." As she spoke, a small notification appeared on her comm device, a message from General Kim regarding Captain Park's posthumous appointment as Earth's first galactic ambassador emeritus. Humanity had entered the galactic stage not through conquest or subjugation, but through a perfect balance of technological prowess and ethical restraint, a combination that had shocked a galaxy and forever changed humanity's destiny among the stars.